So today we want to point out, we're going to compare and contrast a couple different gutter guards. We're starting out with Mastershield versus Gutterglove Pro. Now both of these products have something that, let's start out here. This product has some very positive points to it. It is invented by a prolific gutter guard engineer, and so he's come up with some really good ideas. He's got the downward outward pitch from the roof down to the outside edge of the gutter. It's got a stainless steel mesh, which is very positive, and it's got a drip edge, which is debatable, but you know, it's a great idea. Gutterglove Pro over here has the same downward outward pitch, and it does not have a drip edge, but I'm kind of jumping around. Let's go back to this one. The customer that called us to have this one removed and be replaced by Gutterglove Pro had an issue of water not getting into the gutter after some time, and this is very common with very fine meshed gutter guards. The problem is, in the Seattle area, the mildew and algae tends to build up on this wet, tightly woven screen, and so it builds up and it gets to the point where the water can't go through very well. You know, it will go through, you know, for a while, and then it gets worse and worse over time. And often the problem is actually worse on the bottom side. Sometimes the top of the mesh doesn't look too bad, but the bottom is sometimes far worse. And so, so that's one detriment about this gutter guard. Another thing about it is the drip edge, which should be a positive thing. Actually, I personally have never seen a drip edge work over time. You know, it tends to improve, keep the gutter dry for, you know, about 6 months, but eventually water and, you know, dust and pollen tend to get on a gutter one way or the other. And the problem with this is that when a person sets a ladder up against the gutter, then this is very flimsy. As you can see, it's very flimsy, and it will bend, and then it's a permanent eyesore. The other thing I was quite surprised on this gutter guard is that the paint has chipped off. So, so that's a detriment. So let's take a look at the Gutterglove Pro. The Gutterglove Pro is the difference here between these two is that the mesh is thicker and the holes are much wider apart. They still look very fine, but they're as big as they can get and still keep out roof grit and fir needles. Fir needles will not go in there. And so the other thing is algae and mildew will not grow like it does on this one, because the holes are big enough that even if algae does grow around the wire itself over time, there's still going to be a passage for the water to get through. And another thing about the Gutterglove is it's heavy-duty anodized aluminum. In fact, I forgot a point. Because it's anodized aluminum, you're not going to get the corrosion that you have on this. Here you have let's go here. You have basically it's not much thicker than a pop can here, or a downspout rather, the aluminum itself, and the stainless steel, when it touches that, tends to corrode. And it's hard to see because it's been raining here, but these little white dots, that's corrosion. Again, it's hard to see. All these little white gray, that is corrosion. Now on the Gutterglove Pro, because it's anodized, it's essentially anodized means it's pre-corroded. It's not going to corrode like this one does. In full disclosure, there may be a slight amount of corrosion where it touches, but it's going to be very, very minimal. And I'm talking over years, many years of time. So basically, this is a lifetime product, and one might expect to pay much more for the Gutterglove Pro than the Mastershield in the Seattle, Bellevue market, or anywhere for that matter, because obviously there's a lot more to this product. Actually, we generally come in at 25 to 35% less with our Gutterglove Pro than the Mastershield. And down here I took a couple pieces of this. I wanted to illustrate about how these products compare in strength. So we got the Mastershield. You know, basically it's a very weak product. A couple twists and it comes apart. Very, very thin. And you can cut it easily with the tin snips, and that's really nice for the installers, but for the customer for long term, it's not the best thing. Now Gutterglove Pro, on the other hand, is, like I said, very heavy anodized aluminum. Of course, with this kind of force, the mesh is going to penetrate, but it is quite the gutter guard. So, if it was me looking for a gutter guard, I would probably go with the one that's more durable, the one that's much less likely to cause me maintenance issues, the one that looks better overall because it doesn't have the paint chipping, and it's actually at a better price usually. This is Steve with All About Gutters in Renton, Washington. Thanks.